Hello, everyone. Today we are talking about Article 31, a place of performance or place of delivery, which is very, very important in international transaction of goods. That means today we will put some terms, in, special Incoterm like FOB, like DPP, like EXW in the contract. And what does it really means? Or if we don't put any Incoterms in the contract, what will be the else? So that is regulated in Article 31 of CSG. So CSG Article 31 have three subparagraphs, which is very important when applying CSG and also to determine where is the place for sellers obligation to deliver or perform his obligations. Yeah, because the seller's main obligation is to deliver, to perform the delivery of the goods as it promised in the contract. So let's look into the mind map. So Article 31, place of delivery, or we can have the other more accurate, more important terms, which is identical to the place of the delivery. It means passing of the risk. At the place of delivery, at the place of performance, the risk of the goods is passed from the buyer of sorry from the seller to the buyer. So the place of delivery is quite important. What happened after the place of delivery? The risk shall go to the buyer. Yeah. So firstly, we look into here. Is there a place already determined or designated in the contract? If so, that place will be the place of delivery. Yeah, which means if you just agreed in a contract or with other means, you just agreed a place like a Taiwanese businessman have contracted with an American businessman that the Taiwanese businessman will provide semiconductor chips uh, at maybe Los Angeles airport, Los Angeles. So means the place of delivery is Los Angeles. And if the aircraft carrying the semiconductor chips just hit some bad luck, doesn't arrive the Los Angeles airport. So the risk should be assumed by the Taiwanese businessman. So that is the case that if the buyer and the seller just have agreed the place of delivery in the contract, so prevails the Article 31 CSG. But if the buyer and seller doesn't agree didn't agree on the place of delivery, so the Article 31 shall be applied. And firstly, here, if not designated in contract, the physical transfer of Article 31 shall prevail. So first, there are three subparagraphs. The first one is first carrier rule. If the contract involves carriages, which means the goods shall be transferred by a third party, like a shipping company, like a air shipping company, like Evergreen Airlines or like China Airlines. So they are their role as a carrier. When we deliver the chips to the port, the airport of uh, Taoyuan Airport, then maybe the seller's responsibility is released. Okay, the first subparagraph of Article 31 is the first carrier rule. The second one is on spot of warehouse of the factory. And also here, pay attention to at buyer's disposal. Yeah, maybe is a place of warehouse or factory just signed in the contract. Yeah, you can deliver at a warehouse or deliver at a factory when you are a OEM contract. Yeah, you are not produced the goods by yourself. You just assign the production to another OEM company, OEM factory. So you deliver at the OEM factory. Yeah, on the spot of the factory or the manufacturer. And here at buyer's disposal, it means you deliver and the buyer receive. So what means by buyer's disposal? There is yeah there is here seller place the goods at a buyer's disposal at this particular place. So, firstly, sellers place the goods at a special place, and then seller must arrange everything necessary for delivery. So, the delivery in that place shall be arranged by the seller, and then the buyer just take over that goods at the place of delivery. So it means buyers will do nothing. It just easily receive that delivery. So that means put on buyer's disposal. Okay, so there are third subparagraph of Article 31. Other cases, it means, yeah, a case not regulated in the first carrier rule and then second warehouse or factory situation, and then goes to the third. Other cases, yeah, it's just on seller's spot, on seller's place, and also at buyer's disposal. So buyer can actually just pick up the goods delivery. And then Article 31 also defines the place of goods return. In case that when the contract is avoided, maybe due to fundamental breach, and that redelivery will take place at buyer's place. In this situation, the buyers will transform in another role as the same as the seller. So the redelivery of the buyer will start at the place of the buyer, not the seller. Okay. Article 31 um also regulate in the situation that Incoterm, when the contract has put some Incoterms in their lines. Yeah, the Incoterm will define the place of performance and exclude the CISG. Yeah, that is the rule. But in some cases, the Incoterm uh, should be complementary or supplementary to the CSG, or CSG 31, Article 31 will supplement or complement the Incoterm. So it's not exactly what means here exclude, but actually the Incoterm will be the first to apply when we are discussing the place of delivery. Firstly, there are several terms, payment delivery terms involving carriage, like FOB, CIF, or the terms start with FOC, and then DAP. Yeah, DAP, all the other D terms like duty paid, DPP, duty paid. Yeah, duty price paid. So it means the place of delivery or performance is at the buyer's place. DPP will be at the buyer's place. So let's look down on the other side. So we go into each sub phrase, sub paragraphs. The first one, uh, a situation involving a sales involving the carriage. The first subparagraph A. Yeah, if we run into a situation that multiple carriers were involved, then the seller's responsibility is to hand over to the first carrier. Yeah, so it doesn't necessary to wait until the goods is delivered to the last carrier. So the first carrier is that just enough. And then Article 31, subparagraph B, the sale of goods located at a particular place means warehouse or manufacturer. Firstly, the seller places goods at the buyer's disposal at that particular place. Then seller must arrange everything necessary for delivery in that circumstances. And at last, the buyer just take it. So the buyer won't do any further effort, then just easily pick it up. That means at the buyer's disposal. And then we go into the last subparagraph C. In other cases, yeah, is applicable when not in the case of subparagraph A and B. And the seller must put the goods at the buyer's disposal at a place where seller had its place of business when contract was concluded. So it means it's almost the same as the Incoterm EXW is work. That means the seller's place. Yeah. So it constitutes a basic rule that if there's anything regulated in a contract, so the delivery place or place of performance will be principally at the seller's place. And then we go into the contractual provision for the place of performance. In this part, we discuss when a contract has already designated or indirectly designated the place of delivery. Firstly, we see the EXW. EXW is the abbreviation of EX Works. Yeah, in this situation, the EX Works, the EXW is almost the same as the subparagraph A and C. That means at the seller's place or at the first carrier, because the first carrier will arrive at the door of the seller. And then DDP, delivered, duty paid. Yeah, that means DDP, delivered, duty paid. That on this Incoterm, we can see at the buyer's place of business. So it will involve different cost. Yeah, because ESW, the buyer only the buyer has to arrange the insurance, the freight. Yeah, the seller only have the price of their goods. So that is the most for the seller. That is the most simple one. But the buyer has to arrange the other all the transportations, all the insurance, and also the custom duties. So that will be the lowest quotation at the buyer's side. And the DDP will be the highest. That means everything will be ready at your door, but for the transportation will be added, and the custom duties and also insurance, every cost will be added up to the final price. And also the delivery place or price indication. So it depends on the case. Sometimes the quotation of the price is only an indication of price, not an indication of a delivery place. So look into these two cases. Firstly, in the contract, it is written price X works Rimini, Italy. Yeah, I have been to Rimini several years ago. It's a coastal town, very lovely, beautiful sands. Yeah, price X work Rimini. So it means it's just not an indication of the place of delivery or the place of performance. It's just merely a place of it is merely a price quotation. And then in a different circumstance, yeah, in the contract just written, seller has to erect and run a plant. Yeah, it's an installation of maybe a power plant or and a factory, a big machine, something like that. So the seller has to erect and run the plant for a certain period of time at a buyer's place. So it means the place of performance is extremely clear at a buyer's place because the seller performance, the seller's obligation to perform is not only to provide um, a machine, a plant. It also includes to install, to run, to operate for a certain period of time. So the installation and the running of and the operation should be taken place at a buyer's place. So it means the place of performance, place of delivery is at the buyer's place. Okay, at last, burden of proof. Yeah, who should bear the burden of proving the place of delivery? Yeah, first, the contract has designated a particular place. If one party claims that, the party has to prove they have a special agreement, maybe written or unwritten. Yeah, a place or a particular delivery. Yeah, if the party cannot prove the particular place, then the whole case will be applicable to the was subject to the Article 31 of CSG. Okay, today we end here. I believe it's a very important uh, it's a very important part for international transaction. So I ask everyone to pay more attention on this article and related cases. So see you next time.